Have you ever felt like your team is just stuck in low gear, not shipping code as fast as you know you could be? Yeah, you're not the only one. Today, we are going to dive deep into test automation. It's this incredible tool that can either totally launch your development process into orbit or become a black hole for your time and money. So let's figure out how to get it right.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Is automation this magical silver bullet that's going to solve all of your quality and speed issues? Or is it actually a really expensive trap? A maintenance nightmare that's just waiting to gobble up all your engineering hours? The honest answer is, it can be both. And this slide, wow, it just lays it out perfectly. It's like two different futures for your automation efforts. Over on one side, you've got the dream, right? The promise. You're shipping features way faster. Your product is rock solid, so customers are happy. And you're actually saving money. But on the other side, there's the peril. Your engineers are spending all their time just fixing broken tests instead of building cool new stuff. And your whole release schedule is held hostage by this super fragile test suite. The real question is, how do we get all of that promise without falling into the peril?
Well, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to tackle this from three really important perspectives. We've got the formal strategist, the super practical engineer, and the business leader who's, focused on the bottom line. Then we're going to pull it all together into one unified action plan that you can actually start using. Okay, first up, the strategist. Think of this as the voice of planning, of foresight. The core belief here is that if you don't have a formal blueprint, you're basically just automating chaos. And trust me, that never ever ends well. So what does a strategist tell you to automate? Well, it pretty much boils down to two things: repetition and risk. You absolutely want to automate the tests you have to run over and over and over again. Think regression tests. Those are the ones that check if new code broke something that used to work. And smoke tests, which are just quick checks to make sure the lights are still on, that the most critical functions work. You also want to focus on those high-risk areas like performance and security. Bottom line, if it's repetitive and it's important, it is a fantastic candidate for automation. The strategist's whole approach is about planning before you write a single line of test code. As you can see here, it's this really comprehensive process. It starts with setting clear goals and it ends with a plan for maintenance. Now, two things I really want to point out here. First, just look at how much work happens before you even pick a tool. That is so crucial. Second, that last step, plan for maintenance, is the one everybody forgets, but it is the absolute key to making this work long-term. Your test code is just like your product code. It needs care and feeding. Okay, so that's the view from 30,000 feet. But what happens when the rubber really meets the road? Let's get down into the trenches and hear from the engineers who are actually building and maintaining these automation suites every single day. This quote from an engineer on Reddit just perfectly nails the practitioner's mindset. It's so simple. Start with what matters most. Does the main feature actually work the way a typical user would expect it to? Get that automated first, nail it down. Now, what's really fascinating here is how much this list overlaps with what the strategist said, but it's got this pragmatic twist. Engineers are laser focused on that happy path, those quick sanity checks you're running all the time, and those super long, boring regression tests that nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to do by hand. The theme here is crystal clear. Automate what's stable, what's repetitive, and what's absolutely critical. But just as important, maybe even more important, is what they say you should avoid automating. And honestly, this is a goldmine of wisdom. Do not try to automate things that are constantly changing. It is a recipe for a maintenance nightmare. Don't automate tiny little UI details that don't affect functionality. And for the love of all that is holy, please do not waste time automating a test you're only going to run once. And here it is again, another piece of hard-won advice. You can just feel the pain in this quote, right? This is the voice of experience. Any engineer who's been burned by this knows exactly what this person means. Trying to chase a moving target, an unstable feature with automation, that is the fast track to that peril zone we talked about earlier. Okay, so we've got a solid plan from our strategist, and we have some really practical advice from our engineer. But there is one more huge piece of the puzzle: the money. How do you convince the people who hold the purse strings that this is actually a smart investment? Well, that is where our third perspective, the business leader, comes into play. ROI. It is the language of business. It's the framework you use to prove that spending money and time on automation isn't just a cost. It's a true investment that's going to pay for itself and then some by saving time, reducing risk, and preventing those really expensive bugs from ever reaching your customers. The formula itself? Super simple. You just take all the value you gained, like the cost of the time you saved or the money you didn't lose from bugs,
you subtract what you spent on tools and engineers, and then you divide it all by that same investment cost. If you get a positive number, you are winning. Let's make this real for a second. Let's say your team spends about 36 days a year just on manual regression testing. If an engineer's time costs, I don't know, say $500 a day, boom, that's $18,000 you're saving right there. Now, let's say you also prevent just 2 major bugs from getting into production, which can easily cost thousands of dollars each to fix. All of a sudden, you are looking at savings of over $24,000 a year. Let me tell you, when you walk into a budget meeting with numbers like that, the conversation gets a whole lot easier. But listen, ROI is not a guarantee. It's driven by some really key factors. The more often you release code, the more you benefit from automation. It's simple math. The more stable your application is, the less time and money you spend on maintenance. And integrating your tests right into your CI/CD pipeline, that is absolutely essential for catching bugs early, back when they're cheap and easy to fix. All right, we have heard from the strategist, the engineer, and the business leader. It is time to bring it all home and put it all together into a single, unified action plan. This slide just sums it all up perfectly. See, these aren't conflicting points of view. They're totally complementary. The strategist gives you the map. The engineer shows you the practical path to walk. And the business leader makes sure the whole journey is actually worth the cost. You need all three. You really do. And here it is, your unified checklist for getting this right. Start with clear goals. Automate the stable, high-value stuff first. Steer clear of the unstable features. Get everything integrated into your pipeline for that fast feedback. Calculate your ROI to make the case. And this last one, this is so important. Treat your test suite like a real product. It needs an owner, it needs a maintenance plan. This is not a one-and-done project, it is a continuous process of improvement. So there you have it, a complete framework for building a test automation strategy that actually delivers on its promise. You've got the blueprint from the strategist, the hard-won wisdom from the engineer, and the business case you need to get the resources to make it happen. The only question left is, what are you going to automate first?